Welcome. Last time we completed our study of anthropology and the soul, the first part of subjective spirit, which ended with the I and consciousness and the transition to B, phenomenology. Today we will take up the first section of phenomenology, consciousness of an object, and the transition to self-consciousness. To refresh, we are studying Hegel's Science of Spirit and the stages whereby spirit, the only reality, actualizes itself and attains self-knowledge and absolute freedom. We are presently immersed in subjective spirit, watching how the soul frees itself from its immediate natural contents and becomes an independent I subject or free will, which results in the concept of freedom, next to receive its reality in objective spirit. To recall, the transition from anthropology to phenomenology to psychology, or from the soul to consciousness to spirit, follows the concepts, the methods, three moments, namely immediate unity to opposition to restored unity. We begin in anthropology with unity, with the soul as the sole truth and immateriality of nature, containing all of nature's contents within itself and with nothing outside itself. Then we advance to opposition in phenomenology, which happened when the I, or subject, finally emerged at the end of anthropology, causing the soul's natural contents to be thrust outside of it, becoming an independent, objective world, now in opposition to the I, subject and consciousness. Finally, after overcoming this subject-object separation, we will advance to their unification and a restored unity, that is, to the spirit or mind in psychology. Today we are studying B, phenomenology, aka the phenomenology of spirit or mind, that is, the gradual appearing or coming into being of spirit or mind from consciousness. First, as we said, spirit is the only reality. That is, all that is the point. Consciousness, thought, the universal, the concept. The science of spirit simply studies spirit's journey out of Plato's cave, the movement from immediacy, the senses, individuals, to spirit as consciousness and the universal. So, in phenomenology, we have two sides, consciousness and its object. And since consciousness is all reality, we are going to watch how the object gradually changes into consciousness itself. So as usual, when we begin a new stage, we again start with immediacy, with consciousness of an object, moving from sensory consciousness to perception to intellect and ending with self-consciousness, which happens when the object has become consciousness or the I itself. But since consciousness of an object has not yet been fully vanquished or sublated, the task of this section is to unite these two, consciousness and self-consciousness, via desire, recognizant self-consciousness, and universal self-consciousness. The two are finally united when the object of consciousness becomes a self or another self-consciousness. This is a unity of opposites and identity in difference, which becomes reason and spirit and takes us into psychology. Remember always that Plato is the key. Remember that thought, the invisible God, is the ultimate reality. So we cannot remain in immediacy. We are forced out of it. How? By contradiction. That is, reason, via contradiction or dialectic, takes us out of the cave, out of immediacy, the senses, illusion, into reality, the universal.